Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TCG Talk. Back with another video today. First, I want to say Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope everyone's having a great week, and I hope this year has been good for you. Obviously, we've had some ups and downs for everyone this year, but I hope everyone's having is thankful for something, and that you all have a good rest of your week. And I just wanted to say that up front. And then another quickly thing: I don't normally do this because I don't like long intros, but I really want to say thank you to everyone that's been supporting the channel. 196 subs, I think, is what we're at as of today, and the channel has been only up for like 6 or 7 weeks. So for me, that's insane. I just wanted to make videos for fun. I actually didn't think that many people would watch it. So the fact that these videos are even getting any view time at all is insane to me. And I just really want to say thank you to y'all. I won't do it all the time just because I know people don't like long intros, but I really wanted to say thank you. But for today's video, I wanted to do something just fun. So I decided to do the top five, in my opinion, the top five most useful cards in VAB. Now, a couple of house rules for this video. One, these is obviously a subjective opinion. This is just my opinion on the top five most useful cards in Flesh and Blood. Um, if you have different cards, that's totally fine, totally understandable, totally get it, no issues at all. The one thing I wanted to say was like, don't get mad at me if I didn't do like say your card. I wouldn't think anyone would, but there's always one or two out there that are a little weird. The second house rule is I didn't use equipment. I used just cards. Um, I didn't want to include equipment because that would just be too broken and too easy. I am going to do a top five equipment video, but not for this one. And the last rule is I try to use cards that every hero in the game can use. So I try to stick to generics. Obviously, there's hero specific cards that are just unbelievably useful, but I tried to stay away from those because I wanted it to be fair where like any hero could use these cards. Like it can't be the most useful card if only one or two heroes can use it. So we'll get right into it. I'm gonna show them on TCG Player because I wanted to show the prices for them so people that are new to the game or like into the game can understand um, what the price point is. So some are a little expensive, some of them aren't. We'll get right into it. So the first one for me is, and it's the obvious one, is Enlightened Strike. It's an insane card. It's zero cost technically. You do have to sync a card, so its technical cost is whatever the card you're syncing. Um, However, it has three options. You can draw a card off of it. You can get +2, and you can get go again. So why is this useful? One, it's basically a zero cost 5 attack card that blocks for 3. It allows you to draw a card, but it also only costs 0. So if you draw a card and then you race or reflex it or snap it, Snapdragon Scalers it, it can get go again. So now you just got a zero cost 5. You basically just got the card you sunk back. So basically you're playing a 5 attack for free with go again. You can give it +2, so it's really good at the end of a combat chain. Maybe your opponent's blocked out pretty well, and you play this as the last card, sinking your other last card, and it comes in for 7. Really good for that, especially in like a ninja deck where maybe you've had 2 combat chain hits and your opponent can't block you on this last turn. So you sink it, giving it +2, hit for 7, draw a card, and then you give it go again with Snapdragon skill. You would the sequences you would give it go again, then draw a card. But it's really good for that, and also you can just give it go again. So it's probably one of the most useful attacking cards in the game, if not the most useful generic attack card in the game. It's really good. $51. I'd say it's about the mid-level price point for really expensive cards, as bad or as good as that sounds. It's hovered around 52. It hasn't really moved since then, so it's staying steady. We'll see what happens when the new set comes out, but that's the first card for me. The second one is Plunder Run. People are calling for this card to get banned legitimately because of Briar and because of Chain abusing it. It's just stupid. You play it from Arsenal. At red, it gives you +3. At yellow, it gives you +2. And at blue, it gives you +1 on your next attack. And then if the first time an attack hits at any point during the turn, you draw a card. It's really broken because you can break the chain and still have the Plunder Run effect in effect. So basically, your opponent is almost, especially if you're using a really go wide deck, your opponent's almost forced to try to block you out or just let you draw a card because it's if you're playing like a Briar or a Katsu and you use this card and you have 3 or 4 attacks with some Gadachis or with a Rosetta, like you're gonna get the draw effect on this card, and people are just abusing it right now. I don't want it banned, but there's people calling for Plunder Run to get banned. It's that good of a card, and it's not because the card breaks the format or breaks the game. It's just because every deck so far that has abused the format has been using this card. So if you're a new player, get yourself a set of Plunder Runs. they're not useful in every single deck, but they're useful in pretty much every deck, especially aggro or attack heavy decks. So only $2, $3, really good. So I would definitely go for that. Next one is Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer, obviously, right? Defense reactions can't be played against uh, Command and Conquer or on that chain link. Well, to that chain link, to Command and Conquer's chain link. And if Command and Conquer hits a hero, destroys their arsenal. This is really good because a lot of decks right now are wanting to set up 5 card hands. So you play this at the end of an attack chain or end of a combat chain when the opponent's blocked out a little bit, and then they can't block out the full 6, and you destroy their arsenal. Also, it's just a 6 attack. If you can put like maybe a Plunder run with this, right now you're all of a sudden your Command and Conquer's hitting for 9. Um, if it's the first attack, it doesn't have go again. Can't really give it go again that much. Um, it's really hard to overall. There's a couple cards in the game that probably could, but overall, this is really the only one it can. But like in a Briar deck, Briar can give this go again if she's played 2 non-attack actions before, which I've seen happen. It's just crazy. It's a good card. It's around $90. It's hovered around 90 to 100. I've seen as much as like 110, I think. So it's actually gone down a little bit, surprisingly, but it's a really expensive card, but it's also really good. It's a typical sideboard card. Most decks will run it in the sideboard against decks that require 5 card hands. So there's that one. For number 4, I actually chose one. This one some people might disagree with, but I love this card. Sink Below. In my opinion, it's the best defense reaction, generic defense reaction in the game. Not only does it block for 4 as a defense reaction, doesn't cost anything to play, but it allows you to sink a card if you want to from your hand and draw a card. Basically, if you're trying to set up, maybe you're only blocking with Sink Below, but you don't like one of the cards in your hand for next turn, you can basically cycle that card out. So you're blocking for 4 and you're cycling a card out. It's just really good defense reaction. It's only $1. I highly suggest getting a full set of these. Get 3 of these to use in your deck if you're a defense heavy deck. Paper seems really good too, but I prefer to be able to cycle a card and look at what the next card in my hand is going to be. So Think Below really good. It's one of the most kind of obvious, useful defense reactions in the set. And then finally, I chose Art of War. Again, any deck that's been good in the format or great in the format has abused Art of War. You get to choose 2 of 4 actions. You can give all attack action cards +1 and defense 1 this turn. Attack action cards you play this turn. The next attack action card you play this turn gains go again. Until the end of the turn, you may defend with attack action cards from your arsenal. And you may banish the attack action card from your hand if you do draw 2 cards. So on the offensive end, this is really useful because you can give your attacks +1, you can give it go again, your next card go again, or you can banish an attack and draw 2 cards. It really depends on your deck. I know with Briar, because I run so many attack actions, a lot of times I'll banish one of my attacks, especially if it's just like an okay attack, in order to draw 2 cards, because I'm almost always going to get an attack back with another card, so it's really useful for that. And I'll give my next attack +1. But on the defensive side, you can also play this to give your defense, like if let's say you have 3 cards in hand with Art of War, you pitch 1 to play Art of War, you get, you pitch 1 to play Art of War and give your defense, +1, so you can possibly hit that breakpoint that the opponent's trying to hit. And then also you can use it to play stuff out of your arsenal. Maybe you're wanting to use that last card of your arsenal to defend with. Maybe it's a really good defense-based card, like a 3-block non-attack action, something like that. Art of War is just really good. It gives a lot of good ways to do a lot of different things, both on the offensive and defense end. And it's really not that expensive. It's really interesting how cheap, for lack of a better term, you define your S as a cheap, but cheap Art of War is, like, compared to like Enlightened Strike, which is 51, and Command and Conquer, which is 90. Art of War is kind of like the other staple generic, and it's only 35. And it's hovered around this. It was actually at 40 when I bought it, so it's gone down a little bit. So it's really easy to, if you have $100, you want to spend on some good cards. I would only get 2 of these. You're never gonna run 3 of them. In my opinion, you only run like 2 of them or 1 of them. So you can easily get a full play set of these, 1 or 2, and use it really effectively. But yeah, So those are my top five: Enlightened Strike, Plunder Run, Command and Conquer, Sink Below, and Art of War. Again, I didn't choose equipment. I didn't choose class specific cards. I try to stick to generic cards. Let me know what you think your most useful card in the game is. I'd really like to hear people's opinions because people probably have really good opinions on stuff. Tome of Findal is another one that's really good. Obviously, Sigil of Solus, obviously, was really good. Any life gain stuff is always really good. Yeah, let me know what your top five are. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching the video. And I'll see y'all guys next time on TCG Talk. Thank you so much.